Indeed. When undertaking research, the usual method is to form a hypothesis, then test it with experiments. Those experiments reveal facts and falsehoods, yet sometimes they also unveil an exception. You seem to be that exception when it comes to my crest research. Worry not, Professor. Exceptions are what make my work interesting. Why don't the rules apply to you? I will find out eventually. I feel it is my destiny as a crest scholar.
What the?
So the Boar Prince is dead. Decapitated, I hear. I haven't seen the severed head myself. Perhaps he's still alive and leading that army. Don't patronize me. If his head is still attached to his body, I'll remedy that without hesitation. Either way, a major battle awaits us. Try not to die. I'd be annoyed if you did.
After we cross the Great Bridge of Myrden, we'll be in my father's territory. We actually crossed it 5 years ago for the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Remember? Oh, this is terrifying. What am I gonna do? I gotta get a grip. Oh, no. You should pray we don't run into him at all. The front lines cover a long stretch of land, you know?
No chance. Can't afford to lose. Should have seen that coming. No chance. Sorry it's gotta be like this.
Hi. So, the campaign continues, does it? Well, allow me, as a professional recluse with 10 years of experience, to volunteer for, staying behind. Oh, who am I kidding? The fighting won't stop until we've defeated Edelgard, will it? Or until we lose, I guess. But there's not much use in thinking about that.
It's like this. I'm a graduate of the Golden Deer House, but that was a little before your time, Professor. We won the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Of course, we mostly have Holst to thank for that. And now, he's the greatest general in the Alliance. I didn't do so great in comparison.
Professor, we might see Edelgard herself leading the enemy in the next battle. If they're coming out of Fort Mercius, our troops might even clash on Gronder Field. And those other troops on the march. Who knows what they'll do, or what side they'll take. Not sure how we're supposed to form a strategy with so many unknowns. I don't know why you're so confident, but it does somehow make me feel better. Anyway, we've come this far. Let's just keep putting one foot in front of the other and see how far we get. Wow!
There's something else. House Gloucester has changed its allegiance and joined the faction that is against the Empire. The Alliance will thus remain united. But thanks to this latest ploy, my father is more suspicious of Claude now than ever, if such a thing is possible. Ordinarily, I might credit his helpful posture toward us to his devout faith in the Church of Seros. But it is clear to me now that this is nothing more than a shrewd calculation on his part. He is only thinking of his position. We are in the clear for now, but please bear in mind that the Alliance is never an entirely stable union. Oh my! Oh my!
Professor, maybe. Claude was saying that our next battle might be in Gronder Field. Is that right? Reminds me of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. But of course that was a very different time. When it was over, all three class heads complimented each other on their bravery. And then we had a party. But we can never go back to that, can we? I love it!
That smell.
This is...
So, we're finally going to set foot in the Empire. I'm starting to get a little nervous. I guess there's a good chance we'll be fighting more old friends from here on out.
Huh? I can hardly believe we're crossing the borders of the Empire to battle their army. I never thought I'd see the day. You'd never guess from the calm looks on everyone's faces, though. I mean, we're probably all gonna die, let's be honest. If you don't mind me saying, you don't look like you're in the middle of a crisis either. Oh, perhaps that was a little rude of me? Actually, it's the Great Tree Moon now, isn't it? Not that anyone's in much of a mood to celebrate the new year, of course.
Why, thank you so much. I have gratitude. I am grateful.
Professor, thanks to our victory, I've been able to study the Great Bridge of Murden at my leisure. And you know what? It's an astounding structure. So much history there. Imagine how much time and effort it must have taken to build something that big. Over water, no less. I hope that someday it will be opened up to the people of Fodlan, a historical site, rather than a military checkpoint.
The Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Has it truly been 5 years since then? Can you recall whether it was before or after I joined your class, Professor? That is not at all the case, Professor. Your memory, it was shortly after I joined your class. I remember it like it was yesterday.
We captured the Great Bridge of Murden, but the fight has only just begun. Enbar, the Imperial capital, lies far to the south beyond Gronder Field. And waiting for us on the way there is the entire Imperial army, with twice as many troops as us. We had better brace ourselves.
This war, I seem to lack the skills required to grieve for the dead. If someone has passed, even someone dear to me, I could stand about and wail or get on with my life. While I'm at it, that whole idea that we must speak well of the dead, I don't understand that either. If I didn't like them when they were alive, then why pretend to do so when they are no longer here?
No.
So, we're finally moving into enemy territory. We can expect the war to get even more intense from here on out. I'm really feeling the tension now. I have almost no experience with battles of this scale. Professor, I'll be grateful for your leadership on the battlefield. I know I can trust you.
Since Little Claude became their leader, the Alliance Lords haven't been especially unified. Now they're suddenly united for a common cause. As a result, the Empire hasn't been able to perform even one successful incursion. Rather, we're the ones who might get the jump on them. It's incredible. Magical, even. Maybe his strategic genius was simmering for those 5 years, and it returned to a full boil once you two were reunited. Or maybe he always knew he'd meet you again, and he was preparing for that this whole time.
Professor!
Hello there.
Is that so? If we defeat the Imperial army at Gronder Field, what will our next objective be? I guess we won't have much choice but to try to take Fort Mercius, on the far side of Gronder Field. It's probably too soon for us to be thinking about that, isn't it? I'm sure it's already occurred to Claude, though.
I gotta say, it's tough to keep the fighting spirit alive when you recognize your enemies on the battlefield. So you can't avoid it, huh? How did everything get so messed up? Just because we're fighting someone doesn't mean we gotta hate them. That's probably the worst thing about war. Win or lose, I still get a bad taste in my mouth.
Lady Rhea. I've got to keep this place clean, and I mean properly clean, every day. Dust it, sweep it, everything. You never can tell when Lady Rhea might be back.
Hello there.
Lady Rhea.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. I hear we're sending troops to Gronder Field next. Is that what's what? That whole area is in the territory of House Burgley's. It's famous as the main granary of Fodlan. If we could capture it, we probably wouldn't have to worry about food anymore. Bread for all!
A moment, please. Since you secured the Great Bridge of Murden, trade got a lot easier within the Empire. Nevertheless, profits are rather thin compared to how it was 5 years ago. You can't be much of a trader unless you're prepared to traverse the whole of Fodlan.
Professor!
What do you require? Farewell.
Reconnaissance is becoming more of a risk the deeper we move into enemy territory. If I don't come back, assume I'm dead. I'm glad you think so highly of me, but we have to be realistic. Don't waste your energy worrying about me.
Hello there. This one, yes? I think 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 this one, yes? I thank you. This one, yes? I think 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 this one, yes? I thank you. Return soon, please.
Hey, welcome. You have a good 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 pleasure. Come again.
Edelgard's presence suggests that Hubert is around too. He is Minister of the Imperial Household, after all. He's been around Edelgard since they were children. I suppose he must be pretty happy with his current position.
I've cut all contact with my family since joining this fight. Were I to see soldiers of the Galatea family amidst the host flying the royal family's banner, well, all chance of reconciliation with my father would end there. I do not know if that is the right path, but the fact is, I've come this far. There's no time for second guessing. Not anymore. We're at all the fact is...
Word just reached me that the Empire has stationed soldiers in Fort Mercius. If they decide to dig in their heels and defend the fort, we'll be in a difficult situation. I hear it's an impregnable keep, surrounded by high ramparts. Taking it would not be easy.
Hey, I could use a hand.
Professor. Beyond the Great Bridge of Murden, it's all unfamiliar territory for us. We don't know where Lady Rhea's being held. We ought to investigate all potential locations thoroughly. The Knights of Seiros will handle the search. We'll report back if we learn anything.
Okay.
Hey!
Hey!
Please?
Well... Hey, you! Professor. I trust you and Claude, but I feel uneasy. If we lose in the next battle, the Empire's army will likely come surging into Alliance territory. If that happens, my parents won't escape unharmed. They've raised their anti-Imperial flag after all. Thank you, Professor. I'll fight with all I've got to. Speaking with you has eased my mind a bit. Just enough, in fact, to put me in the mood for sweets. Singing with... I heard that some unidentified troops have appeared, but apparently they were flying the flag of the Vargas royal family. Do you think it was Dimitri's ghost? His country was taken before he ever wore the crown. Surely he must regret that. I appreciate this. I appreciate this.
Really? You there?
Professor!
Please.
Yeah.
Each time we press forward, our search for Rhea broadens to a wider area. I certainly hope we will find at least some clue. But I do suspect I already know where she is. If I'm right, and she is in the Imperial capital, then we cannot save her until we topple the Empire.
I hear the next battle could be a big one. Is that true? I miss the old days when if someone got hurt, we'd rush them to the infirmary and make them well. But on the battlefield, there's not enough time to help. People die. Professor, don't be one of those.
Professor!
We secured the win in our first skirmish, but the next battle is a different matter. The Empire will come after us with everything it's got. Even so, the ultimate victory will be ours. And I'm not just saying that. I've made ample preparations to ensure our victory. It's my rule to never leave victory to chance. You can't rely on the protection of the goddess. With your power and my schemes, I should be able to plot a direct course to victory.
Right, right.
If this mysterious military force is the remnants of the kingdom, I think there would have been the possibility of a united front. But from what I've heard, that's going to be difficult. Their behavior is very erratic. If they're clamoring for revenge and death, then it's probably better if we have nothing to do with it.
Nobles who are changing allegiance again and again. I do not have understanding for that. How can you trust if treason comes with ease? How can you be calling yourself a noble? I do not have understanding of the reasoning. Survival has more importance than that. Are they not knowing this?
My thank you so much. I am grateful. Thanks so much.
Much appreciated.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. The Great Tree Moon is finally upon us. It's time to celebrate a new year. We only get so many. Folks up top don't seem to be in the mood to celebrate, though. I hate war.
Hey there. I hurt my leg in the last battle. Had to take shelter down here. Nowhere else to go. Be careful up there. All sides are bringing their strongest people to this fight. Count Burgleys in the Empire, Lord Holst in the Alliance. I'm sure the Kingdom's got someone too.
Seems the Alliance has avoided becoming nothing but a glorified battlefield. I may have cut ties with my family, but I'll admit, I'm still worried about how they're faring. For now, at least, my little bro has managed to keep them afloat. He's a good leader, that one.
That's so. What a pain. What an absolute pain. Concerned, are you? That's nice. A little too nice. Here's a word of warning. If anyone here asks you for a favor, it's probably just a scam.
Hello. I used to be a rather important person in the church, but I am in exile for committing a crime. I embezzled some money, but it wasn't out of greed. My hometown was pillaged, you see, and the church wasn't putting in enough to rebuild.
Professor! Across the bridge is Burgley's territory. It marks the start of our incursion into the Empire. Worry not. I feel no trepidation as we do this. Mark how my spellcraft carries us through to Envar, heart of the Empire.
You're fighting people we used to know from the Officers' Academy. Guess that's the kind of thing that happens in war, but still, it's pretty twisted. It makes me feel so... Ugh. Maybe I'll just try not to think about it.
My rule is never to play my hand if I can't win. That's why I'm here. To win. This is my life on the line. Don't let me down, yeah? In the end, I'm the one who decided to be a part of this. So it's my own fault if things go south.
I'm glad I asked you.
Word, if they just... I hear.
Claude, remind when it was... And then we...
A moment, please.
Don't waste your energy.
Hi, Ingrid. That was a great training session today, wasn't it?
It was indeed, Claude. It's so nice to see you.
Things have been pretty busy lately, though. I hope you're taking the time to rest whenever you have the chance.
I thank you for the concern. You are ever so kind.
I've finally got a free day tomorrow, so I was planning to sleep through the morning and laze around all day.
That sounds so lovely. Perhaps I should do the same.
Ingrid, will you just stop it already? You still doing that shtick?
Whatever do you mean?
Are you feeling all right? You're acting so demure. It's kind of creeping me out.
Ugh, you can't be serious. I always knew you were a layabout, but I see now you're also an insensitive nitwit, too. If I lecture you, you complain. If I act pleasant, you also complain.
Ah, you switched back!
Please, tell me how to behave. At least if you're commandeering my behavior, I'll get less of an earful of your complaints. Have you ever even once considered thinking before you speak? And you wonder why people so rarely trust you.
Ah, right. I'm sorry. I guess that was kind of insensitive.
Wow, quite the apology. Sounds a lot like one of your myriad excuses. Do you really expect empty apologies to help you get your way?
I'm suddenly feeling dizzy. Oh, so dizzy. We'll have to talk about this later.
There you go again. You and your excuses. I thought if I made extra efforts to be pleasant, he and I might finally interact without bickering. I just don't know what the best approach is with him.
There is no best approach.
Were you listening to everything I just said? Ugh. I thought you'd run off.
I told you before, didn't I? You're better off as your normal, prickly self. I don't mind getting lectured by you, so keep on doing that from time to time, okay? Just maybe not all of the time. Anyway, oh, the dizziness. Bye.
As if an occasional lecture could ever cut it.
It's only a scratch, Leone. I'm alright.
One mistake like that in battle and you're done. This is your weapon hand, isn't it? Let me stop the blood.
Apologies for the trouble.
No trouble, and no apologies. Thanks is what you say when a friend helps you out. Darn.
What's wrong?
I need a bandage to stop the bleeding, but this is all I've got.
My handkerchief.
I was only carrying it around to give back to you anyway. Mind if I use it for this?
Very well. I suppose that's fitting in a way.
I guess so. Not that I'm happy you're bleeding. I'm glad you'll accept it, though. In the past, you might have refused it.
Yes. I might have made it an issue of commoners giving aid to the nobility or some such.
I didn't understand why you were so strict about it, but I think I kind of get it now. You know, if every noble were like you, the world would be a better place.
Perhaps, but you were right. Many great deeds are accomplished by friends working together, especially when those friends are as capable as you.
Me?
I hope this is not the first time I have told you this, Leone, but you are an exceptional individual. By insisting on matters of status in dealing with you, I have done you a terrible disservice. For that, please accept my apology. Let us promise to look out for one another as friends from now on.
No need for vows. That's how I've always seen it. You weren't wrong about nobles and commoners each having their own roles. But the important thing is we help each other.
That is precisely what being friends with you has helped me to understand. In fact, I've begun somewhat to think of you as rather something more.
Huh? Sorry, what did you say?
I said, I hope we'll always give each other support.
Hey, Ignatz. Drawing again?
I am. I suppose that's rather irresponsible, as we're in the midst of a war. But ever since we last spoke, I felt keen to pursue my artistic aspirations.
Like I said, it's your calling. Don't feel bad about it.
All right, I'll try to embrace it. And you, are you practicing archery today?
More just double-checking this bowstring. I want to make sure it's ready for the next battle.
Okay. Well, let's both do our best.
That's the spirit. Does that mean you finally accepted that you're an artist?
I'll try to discuss it with my parents after the war. There's little demand for knights in peacetime. In fact, painting might be a more reliable way for me to support my family. I'll try to persuade them with arguments along those lines.
Good point. I'm glad you've got some confidence.
Come to think of it, Leone, what will you do when the war's over?
Me? I'm going to become a top-tier mercenary.
A mercenary in peacetime?
Even after the war's over, there'll be plenty of work for me to do before peace really takes hold. I'll pay what I owe my village back, with interest. After that, I don't know. Never thought about it.
I'm sure you can do whatever you put your mind to.
Hardly. Lots of options just don't suit me. I mean, could you imagine me as a songstress? But yeah, I don't know. Once I've paid off my debts, I guess I'll just have to find something new.
I don't think there's any rush. You can travel and relax, and think about it.
Travel, huh? There's an idea. Want to come with?
Huh? Me?
Sure. You were really excited about different styles across the world, weren't you? Don't you want more of that? Maybe even see the sky in a new shade.
Yes, I suppose I do. I'd like to see the whole world.
If your parents object, we'll just say I kidnapped you. Actually, feel free to say that even if you go alone.
Oh no, I want us to see the world together. Your presence makes every landscape more beautiful.
Hey, hold on. What's this all of a sudden?
Oh, that's not what I meant.
You're hilarious, Ignatz. There's never a dull moment with you around.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Have you been there long? I was absorbed in this book.
Another silly legend?
First of all, they're not silly. And second of all, no. It's an essay that speaks to uncommon and challenging battle scenarios. I've been researching such things since you proposed your unique strategy. Listen to this. Your commander gives orders that put your hometown in extreme danger. Do you carry out the orders, or protect your hometown?
What nonsense. I was talking about real-world tactics, not some dumb ethical question.
Whatever your personal feelings on the matter, I see similarities between such tactics and these dumb ethical questions. I haven't read beyond this one, but I think the obvious answer is to follow your commander. The duty and pride of being a knight demand that you follow orders, regardless of your own feelings. But if I were put in such a position, I don't know how I'd fare. In fact, were someone to carry out those orders, I know that I'd attempt to stop them.
Stop bothering with all this. You're not meant to be a knight. Go find a husband.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
I know you hate the ideals of chivalry and pride. So much so, you ran away from your duty as your family's heir. You have no right to criticize me for my ideals.
Perhaps not. At least I know not to heedlessly obey orders. I know not to romanticize blind obedience. My brother taught me to think for myself.
Don't you dare bring Glenn into this.
You're right. Forget it.
What?
Nope. Let's put it to the test.
You...
I've got the gist of it now.
Could you perhaps enlighten me on something? I grasp it so much more perfectly now.
Hey, pal.
With you on my side,
We'll knock theirs.
we did a fine job.
I'm just not there yet.
Practice is paying off.
Can't stop running.
Got you. You're the Prime Minister, aren't you?
Not anymore. He lost his power and his fancy title. Now he's just a man.
Shut up!
Yeah. Do you know what you've done to regular folks like us? Since you villains took over the Hrim territory, our lives have been nothing but pain and misery. Heavy taxes, forced labor, it's brutal. Now we're gonna make you pay.
Such a nice selection of tea leaves in the pantry here.
Tea is nice and all, but it's not much good when you don't have sweets to go with it.
Sweet treats are less common, yes. But perhaps that makes sense. War is not sugar-coated.
If you've got time to be cheeky, you've got time to find me some sweets.
But Lysithea, your smile is so sweet.
Lord Ferdinand, excuse the interruption. Our scouts happened upon the information you were looking for. I thought it would be best to let you know as soon as possible.
They know where my father is?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, now.
After losing his position as Prime Minister, your father was held in Enbar for a very long time. He escaped. For a while, no one knew where he was. The other day, however, he was sighted alone in the Hrim territory. Seemed he was heading for an allied region.
Hrim.
Alone, you say? Was he safe?
I'm afraid not. There is a major insurrection happening in the Hrim territory. It's been 5 years since Duke Ire lost his control of the area. The military seems to have finally lost control, and the people's violence is unleashed.
I do not understand. Why are they rioting?
It's obvious, isn't it? Ferdinand, do you really know nothing about Hrim? Your own father was ruling it. You don't know what became of the area once he fell from power?
If it was truly a House Ire territory, I would have been trained in governing the area. But my father insisted that I have nothing to do with Hrim. But now is not the time to talk about this. We have to help him before he gets caught up in the violence.
You're right. Now isn't the time for chit-chat. Let's get over there quickly. Professor, would you be coming? We'd better depart as soon as possible. I know a bit about the situation. I'll fill you in later.
Well, is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Come back soon. Well, is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Come back.
This is where my father was sighted? The citizens are rioting everywhere.
Over there! Quick! We need to help them!
There seem to be some people inciting the violence. If we take them out, perhaps the violence will subside.
It might be best to spread out.
The north side of the town is in chaos. I do not think we can advance.
It seems better to simply hold the line against the enemies in the north, and focus our efforts on saving the citizens of the east and south. Let's make this quick. I've got no time for mercy.
Ready for anything.
Shall we?
Shall we? Too close for my liking.
Leave it to me.
At the ready. Steady now.
That's another one. Am I getting closer?
My orders? I'll do my best. Now there's a way forward.
Well, certainly can't complain.
I'll do my best. I must keep going.
Well.
Ready when you are. It is done. Onward.
What's my strategy?
Thank you. Looks like I won't be robbed this time.
At the ready.
Ha! Hold a grudge if you must.
You got yourself killed. The weak fall, the strong live.
I must lead them well.
Too easy. Boring. Too easy. Let me paint you a picture. I took care of it. Thank you. Steady now. I'll defeat you! No mercy. I found strength in adversity.
Look at you!
Let's make this quick. No time to slow down. I will keep making progress. My orders?
Leave it to me.
Ready for anything.
Prepare yourself!
My duty is your death.
Thank you ever so much for helping us. I don't know what would have happened if it weren't for you.
Shall we? Our quarrel wasn't personal.
Shall we? How about a curtsy? I will not die yet. For Gerald.
Still alive.
shall not stray.
Much needed.
Sorry, but I must.
Sorry it's gotta be like this.
Sorry, but it's you or me. It was the least I could do.
Oh, looky there. Some houses are still untouched. Let's give them a good plundering, boys!
Professor, let's make haste and go help them. Their lives may be forfeit if we don't get to them quickly.
Ah! Go on, boys! Riot to your heart's content! It's over!
My allies are much worthier.
I'm not the only bad guy here.
What? We give up. Have mercy. That guy made us do it.
We owe you our lives. We're saved. Saved, I say.
Now there's a way forward.
Strategy in motion. A fitting outcome.
No time to slow down.
I made it!
Thanks for that.
Nice try.
No chance.
Pure grit! All right, who's next?
What do you want? You better not stand in our way. After I went to all the trouble of killing that noble and stealing his treasure.
Father, no! So we were too late after all.
You took me lightly.
I fought and won.
I will not die yet. This success will translate to victory.
Let's think carefully.